how you can build a side income stream along with your full-time job. We'll discuss that in this video, and obviously because it's a vast topic, it's not possible to cover all the options in one video. So I am going to do series of like 3-4 videos for passive income alongside with your job. So stay tuned for that. And for today's video, I'm going to discuss the options and possibilities of building income stream online, where you earn online alongside your full-time job. So with that, let's get started. So to begin with, I'll start by answering very frequent questions that I get about side income along with full-time job. That is it legal? Will the employer have problem? How do I do it the legal way? And everything around that. So in nutshell, doing two jobs, dual employment is not illegal provided, listen to that carefully, provided you are not working in two full-time jobs. What does that mean? Full-time job means that you are enrolled in the retirement benefits of that company, which is your PF. Working full-time in two jobs means you are taking the benefit of PF from two companies. Two companies are submitting your PF amount with the organization, government organization, which is EPFO. That is not acceptable, and that is something that can get you in so much trouble. So never, ever, ever do that. Do not even think about it, because now everything is centralized and the companies can very well verify that from your UAN history that you had dual employment in your career, where you were working two jobs at the same time, and that will get you a label of dual employment, and companies will refrain from hiring you. So do not do that. That's not something ethical, and that's not something I suggest on my channel at all. Second thing is, you can do one full-time job and you can take another job which is not full-time. It can be part-time, which you do post your regular job hours. Say for example, you're working 9 to 5 in your full-time job, and then maybe you're working 8 to 11 p.m. or 12 p.m. in the night in your part-time job. That is totally acceptable, and nobody should have problem with that. Now comes another factor, that though doing such kind of jobs is not illegal, it's acceptable, it's not about ethics also, but there can be some companies which have drafted their offer and agreement letter in such a way where it states that the employee is not allowed to do any other kind of job, is not allowed to take any other employment, be it full-time or part-time. In such a situation, though it's not illegal, but if you have signed such kind of contract or document, agreement, offer letter, then if the company finds out about your job, maybe part-time or full-time, then that company can hold you accountable in the court of law, because you have breached the condition of the contract that you have signed with them. Not because it was illegal in the first place, but because you have breached a condition of the agreement that you signed. So that makes it illegal. It's by default not illegal. So make sure that you have not signed any such agreement. That was point number 2. Now point number 3 is that whenever you are taking any other kind of job alongside your full-time job, you have to ensure few things. Number 1, there is no conflict of interest, which means you cannot use any of the company's resources in building your income stream. What does that mean? Let's understand with the help of example. Say for example, your full-time job requires you to use Photoshop editor, and your company has provided you access to that. I mean, you can use that in your day-to-day job. There are various tools which companies provide you access to free of cost, and so that you are able to do your full-time job. Now, if using that tool with your company's access, if you're trying to build a side income using the same Photoshop tool and editing other people's videos or whatever, and then you are generating income, that is illegal. That is a conflict of interest, and if company figures it out, it can definitely hold you accountable in the court of law. So be mindful. There can be various, this is just one example, there can be various situations like this. So make sure that you are not using company's laptop, tools, software, time. If company figures that out, it can definitely hold you accountable. That is for sure. Now, once we are clear with all these pointers, then my friend, it's totally fine. Whatever you do in your personal time, once you're done with the job, login hours, then it's none of anybody's business, none of your company's business, none of your manager's business. You can freely do whatever you wish to do. So yes, it's very much possible. Even I'm doing it. I'm a full-time HR in a company, and I do content as well in my personal time. So whatever I do with my personal time has nothing to do with my company. They do not have a problem with that. They should not have a problem with that, because I am not using the resources of my company in any way. So with that understanding, let's quickly discuss what are the options that you have to build online income stream. So if you want to pursue online income streams, there are majorly two options for you. One is digital services, another one is digital product. So we will cover digital services in this video. So digital services basically mean that you are providing services online. Now these services can be of various types. For example, you are providing one-on-one consultation to someone. That can be in form of a video call, or it can be a non-video call, or it can be in form of a message as well. For example, I have my one-on-one consultation services in form of a message where the person can send me a personalized message of the problem that they have, and I respond them in form of message only. It goes as a text. So TopMate is the platform that I use for this services. You can use the same, or there can be many other options as well. So I put the link of my TopMate page in my LinkedIn, in my YouTube videos, in my Instagram as well. Now obviously, to begin with, you do not have to do all of that. You can just tag it with your LinkedIn profile and you can get started from there. So what happens is the person visits that TopMate page and has the option to put their query, and that query reaches me and I answer, and that's how I get paid for it when I answer the query. Until I answer the query, that money doesn't reaches me. That is one form of digital service. Another thing can be that you are providing tuitions. Now, if somebody is present online already, say for example, if I want to start tuition services, I can just promote it on my social media channels. But if someone doesn't have the presence across social media, then what they can do is they can go to the tuition platforms that already exist. There you register as a teacher, and then they match you with the related category and you give tuition to those people, and that's how you get paid. So these are the platforms where you can go and join. It doesn't take any upfront fees from you to get started. Now, another form of services can be freelancing, where you are working as a freelancer. You register on these freelancing websites and you go and pitch for the projects. You receive a project and then you work on that and get paid. That's one part of it. Now, if you have a social media presence, it gets easy. Why? Because you do not really have to go and register on freelancing websites. I mean, you can do that. It doesn't harm anyway. You do not have to pay upfront anything for that. But if you have your brand image, say for example, if you're a working professional, I'm sure everybody has LinkedIn profiles. So you can tag your services there as well, that you provide so and so services. Then people can reach you out, say for example, for resume review. If somebody struggling to find a job and they're not sure if their resume is good enough for the job, they can request you for the resume review. You spend an hour or two there, maybe one-on-one or maybe offline, and get back to them that this is what I feel about your resume, and then you get paid for the services. Same can happen for reviewing the projects, presentations, Excel sheets. Options are endless. You just have to decide what you are good at. What services can you provide? Always remember that the core of earning money is providing value. That service should be of some value to some other people for which they are agreeing to pay. Another very good example these days is video editing. There's a lot of content creation is happening, and this industry is set to boom even more in next 3-4 years. So more and more video editors are required. Yes, there are thousands of video editors available, but good video editors are not available, and people and companies are ready to pay them what they ask for. This skill is in that much demand, and I think it's very much doable to manage your full-time job and taking a video editing gig at the side whenever you have the time. So it's an excellent option if somebody wants to consider it. And similar to that is writing. As I said, the content industry is booming. It's not only the video content, even the writers are required to put out blogs for brands or people who are working on their personal brand. They need more and more creative writers, so you can pick on those services as well. Those services will also happen online, that you trade your time or you work basis project and get paid accordingly. What you have to keep in mind is that this model can work on two things. One, that you have a personal brand, you have a presence, and you directly give that service to the client. Say for example, a candidate is reaching out for resume review, or a company is reaching out for a project review. You're directly dealing. That is one aspect. If you do not have that online presence, what you have to do is you have to register yourself on the marketplace, the platforms where there are already companies and candidates looking for such consultation. For example, freelancing websites or for bloggers when there is a requirement, or tuition websites where you can register yourself as a tutor. So that's the marketplace. So these are the two approaches. Either you make yourself popular on the social media, or you register yourself on other platforms. So another important point that you have to keep in mind is that if you're going for a direct service where you're directly interacting with the clients, there is no marketplace or platform in between, then obviously you will earn more and you'll have more control on what you want to do and how much you want to do. You can stop it whenever you want, and there are many perks associated with it. Now, many of you might feel that, oh, how do I build my social media presence? I don't have any. See, you do not have to be everywhere. You can just start with one. I think LinkedIn is the best place. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that whatever service you want to sell or you want to portray yourself as an expert of, make sure that you start putting out content related to that field so that people already see you as an expert, or at least someone who knows about that stuff. Then it will become easier for you to get clients related to that topic. If you do not share anything, if you do not post anything, if you do not talk about that subject, then how will people know that you are providing services? And they will never click on the link that you have provided for the services. So it's very important that you start by talking about that topic, that subject on which you want to give services, so that people see some value in you, in interacting with you. They feel that you have the knowledge. You have to first portray that. On the other hand, if you are going for the platforms, you want to register on the platform, then make sure that you write a portfolio there which represents strong skills in that particular area. If you just register with your name and you just say, I can do this and this, nobody will shortlist your profile. Then you need a strong portfolio. You have to write for yourself that this has been your experience and you have this much expertise, you have handled so many projects, you have worked in so many companies. So your portfolio should reflect your expertise on the subject on which you want to provide services. So these are the two ways you can go about it, but there are endless options what you can do, what you can provide as services. Obviously, it's not possible to talk about all of them. Maybe I do not have them on top of my mind, but idea of this video is that somewhere in your mind you get that light bulb moment and you feel like, oh, I can do something this, or I can offer this services, I'm good at this skill. You have to ask yourself what you're good at, and that can be any skill. You do not have to hop on a skill which 1,000 other people are doing. No, whatever comes naturally to you, whatever you're good at, whatever you feel good working at, pick that skill, because only then it will be sustainable. Because after your working hours, you would not want to pick a subject which you do not like. Then it will not be sustainable. You'll burn yourself out. It will impact your performance at work also, and that's not the situation we want to get in. So I hope you got your answers, and this conversation would have triggered some idea in your mind. And in next video, I'll talk more about digital products. That is also something you can build online, and that is something more scalable. I mean, I personally find that income stream much more valuable, scalable, reliable than online services. I'll discuss the reasons as well. I'll discuss the resources as well. So stay tuned for that. And if you have any additional questions, make sure that you put them in the comment section so that I can include those questions in my upcoming video about digital products. And with that, I'm signing off. You keep on watching more content on the Corporate Diaries, and I will see you in my next one. Till then, stay safe and healthy. Take care. Bye.